NGT have just sent me 3 of their different lights, and all of which serve more than one function. Yes, they're all letting light out right now, but they have a little bit extra going on with each of them that makes them more than just a light. First of all, we have the 3-in-1 Bug Zapper, or Multifunctional Lantern. Depending on where you find it online, it may have different names. It came on the box saying Multifunctional Lantern, but also said online 3-in-1 Bug Zapper. But if it looks like this is the one you're going for. Now, what makes it 3-in-1? Well, as you saw at the very start, it has a light on the bottom, so the button is on this side. You've got a torch, which is very bright, blinding the camera there, and then you've got 2 different lantern modes. So one that's brighter, one that's dimmer, and then off. Now, the brightness level modes of those, on the torch mode is 200 lumens. If you go to the lantern, you've got 150 lumens, and the dimmer setting is just 40 lumens. But as I said already, all of these lights I'm showing you today have more than one function. They don't just have a light on them, they serve another purpose. And this purpose, if it isn't already obvious, is the fact that it has a bug zapper on the inside. So you've got that sort of purpley light with some little electric wires going around. So if anything does come into here, because of course if you're using the light, especially in the summer months in the evenings, it's going to attract those bugs. So hopefully attracting them to this, then zap them as well. They won't be pestering you. But also another good thing about this is, yes, it will attract light or attract flies to them, but if you've got a mozzie mesh vent in the summer and you put that down, but there's still the odd bug still within your bivvy, you turn that zapper on and it should attract to that and get rid of them. So even if the odd one does get through your mozzie mesh, you can still kill them when they're in your bivvy. So they shouldn't bother you through those months. But as I said, this time of year, when I'm filming this, bugs aren't generally an issue. It's more the frost and the ice that's going to be an issue. But that's the other function that this light has. Now, this can be charged in just 4 hours and the battery capacity is 2000 milliamps. So runtime should give you about 20 hours of continuous runtime on the actual mozzie zapper. But if you're using the light on its highest function, it'll give you 8 hours of continuous usage. But as I said, that takes just 4 hours to recharge. So if you've used this continuously throughout the night, you just need to charge it in the day, ready for the next night, then you can charge it in no time. One other thing to note is if you remove this small cover on the very top of the light, it reveals a little brush. Now this is there to get rid of any of those dead bugs that have been lingering around a little bit too long. Now where you use this is completely up to you. Of course you can sit it on its base like so, sitting on a bivvy table or a bucket top. Obviously the light's not going to work quite as well facing down, but I do find that with the lantern, or the other button, it does emit outwards, so it should illuminate your bivvy quite nicely like that. Or alternatively, you can latch it to the top of a bivvy, or in this case, I'm using a brolly, so it's got ribs. There's a little loop there, and in that loop is a little hook as well, which is the perfect size to go over a rib on a brolly. So if you've got a brolly, perfect. If you've not, most bivvies these days seem to have little loops in there, or little hooks that you can hang things like this in. So you shouldn't have an issue with using this, whatever bivvy or brolly you have. And this comes in, a quick look on Google this morning, at just $16.95. Next up is the power bank and light system. Now, looking on Google again this morning, the price was around $35.95, but shop around, you may be able to find it even cheaper than that. Now, the main function of this, of course, is going to be that floodlight on the very front, and this has a power of up to 500 lumens. There's 2 buttons on the top and a dial, so at the moment I've got it on its lowest setting for power. If I turn the light on, you'll see it's come on, and if I turn the dial up, it gets brighter and brighter. So there you are, that is it now on 500 lumens. Turn it back down. On the other side, you've got a red button. Now you can have these on at the same time, but I'll turn the white off just so you can see the red a bit easier. Again, you can have it dim or turn it all the way up to its brightest setting. So whether you want the red light or the white light, completely up to you. So the red light might be really good for more of a bivvy light. Oh, I've already got on its flashing setting. There we are. There's a solid setting and a flashing setting, both of which are adjustable in their brightness level. So the flashing one, maybe if you need a bit of help, just sending out a bit of an alert to people. But I think the most usage is this is going to get for red light is just on its solid form, having it in your bivvy as a bivvy light for most of the time. And if you catch a fish and you need to take some photos, you don't have a flash on you, stick that one on, and you've got a really bright 500 lumen floodlight. But of course, that has more than one feature, as with all of them. Mounting points, just quickly, you've got a Velcro on the back here, so you can mount that to, I don't know, a tree that's nearby to hang up to get some light, onto a storm pole. I can attach it to the top of the brolly with that as well, but also on the bottom is a screw thread. Now this is perfect for one of those adapters that screws into a bank stick and then into this, or alternatively use that on a camera tripod. It's the same thread as that, so you can mount this wherever you like through your swim for your cat shots or maybe some night scenics or whatnot. But if you have a look on the other side, this is where its other function comes in, because you've got a power check there, as you can see, 4 LEDs at the moment because that's fully charged, and the DC in, so that's where you charge it, but there's one USB port out. So this can charge devices as well as being a light. Now, because it's only got the one port, of course, its main function isn't going to be as a power bank. It's more of a get yourself out of jail free card, but it's perfect for if you just want to have a light on you, if in case you have a fish and you only ever take one device with you, which is your phone, and it's running out of power, you've got the chance of charging your phone up through this. Now, the battery capacity of this is actually 10,400 milliamps. Now, what does that mean in real world terms? Well, if you're using it just for the light on the front and you've got that light on its full whack, 100%, you can expect from a full charge battery pack to get about 11.5 hours of continuous runtime. So if you want to keep your swim illuminated for 11.5 hours in the depths of winter, at full brightness, you can do. You may not be the most popular angler on the lake, but you can do that. But also if you have it on a dimmer setting, maybe just 30% as more of an ambient light, you can get up to about 75 hours of continuous runtime on that. On the flip side, if you're using this as a power bank, on a full charged battery, you can get about 5 to 6 times of charging your phone through this. So it's perfect for just taking on your overnighters, keeping your bivvy illuminated when you need it, and if your phone's getting low, stick it in there and you're absolutely sorted. And the last thing to note with this is it does come with its dedicated hard case. On the inside of this is a little elasticated side, so it keeps it in place. You've got a charger, so it's perfect for charging up. It's one of those old micro USB style chargers, so if your phone is slightly older style, then you can probably use this to charge up your phone. And the other bit that just fell onto the floor is this clip. Now, this is something I should have mentioned when I was saying about where you can mount this item, is because it's a clip that I could latch up onto the top here, clip it on, or onto a rib of a bivvy or any kind of hook and latch point. Because this Velcro tab undoes on the back, if I undo that completely, I can then slide that tab through onto this clip, and there we are. I can now latch this up above me, like so, and use it as a bivvy light. So if I turn that on, turn it up, there we go. I've got that sorted as a little bivvy light above me, and I can face that the other way if I like. So you can mount this pretty much anywhere you want within your swim. And lastly is the Bivvy light and power bank. And there's your two functions straight off the bat. So of course this is being used as a Bivvy light for the most part, but it's probably one of those get yourself out of jail free cards. If you're scrabbling around and think, I didn't bring my power pack, yet my phone is about to die, then a eureka moment as the light bulb above your head gives you the idea that there's actually some charge in here. So this has a 2,600 milliamp battery capacity, and now that in real world terms is about 60 hours of continuous charging time to a mobile. So it's perfect for charging up your phone, probably maybe only once on a session, maybe a bit more, but if you're using this as a Bivvy light primarily, of course you're not using it as a power bank, but it's perfect to know that, like I said, if you're running out of power and think, I've got nothing with me, this is to the rescue. But obviously its main function, I would say, is going to be that it's a Bivvy light. So on the side is a button, you press that, you've got a white light, slightly dimmer white, then you've got a red solid, and then a red flashing. But it's not done there. You can also use the remote. So rather than reaching up, especially some of these bivvies now that we're seeing with more headroom, which I'm a big fan of because I don't like to be all hunched in a bivvy. So when you've got your Bivvy light quite up high and you're in your bed chair, it's a bit of a reach to try and turn your bulb on. So it comes with a little remote like so. And this actually has a 50-meter range. I'm not sure when you're ever going to be 50 meters away from your Bivvy light and need to turn it on, but it's nice to know that it's got good strength, shall we say. So there we are. I can rattle through them with the remote. That'll be next to me, maybe in my little pocket on my bed chair, so I don't have to reach up to turn this on and off, which is a really nice, handy little feature. And to hang this up, as you expect with a lot of these, you've got a magnetic strip, which I just put up there, and it latches on like so. So as simple as that, I've now got Bivvy light hanging up there. And as I said, I don't have to touch it anymore. I can just use the remote to rattle through all the different settings on there. So that's really handy. And this one comes in, whilst the light is flashing red, let's turn that off, at just $15.95. So there we go, 3 different options from NGT. Whether you want to illuminate your bivvy or a little bit of a head torch around the swim, but still keep the bugs at bay, go for the 3-in-1 Bug Zapper or Multifunctional Lantern. Alternatively, your more traditional Bivvy light with 4 different light settings, but also that little bit of charge in there to get you out of jail free if your phone is starting to die and you've got nothing else with you. And lastly, the bit of a jack of all trades. Can be used as a Bivvy light, can be used to illuminate your catch shots, but also charge your phone several times. Then go for this one, the power bank and light system. I hope this gave you a bit more of an idea of what's out there from NGT, all the different options, maybe pick up multiple or just one, whatever suits your needs, there's something out there for you. So please hit like if you like this video, subscribe to us if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next one.